Hello movie lovers. It's great to see you here. Don't forget to subscribe to catch my daily movie recommendations. Let's dive into the world of cinema together. Number 10, The Bone Collector. The Bone Collector is a 1999 crime thriller movie directed by Philip Noyce and starring Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie. The film follows quadriplegic forensics expert Lincoln Rhyme and rookie cop Amelia Donaghy as they work together to track down a serial killer in New York City. The killer leaves clues that only Lincoln can decipher, and together, they race against time to catch the murderer before he strikes again. The film received mixed reviews, but was a commercial success at the box office. Number 9, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer is a 1986 horror or crime film directed by John McNaughton. The movie stars Michael Rooker as Henry, a drifter who becomes friends with Otis and moves in with him and his sister Becky in their Chicago apartment. Unbeknownst to them, Henry is actually a serial killer, and Otis soon becomes his accomplice in his gruesome crimes. The film follows Henry and Otis as they go on a killing spree through the city, while also exploring Henry's disturbed past and psychological state. The movie is known for its realistic and disturbing portrayal of violence and has gained a cult following over the years. Number 8, Manhunter. Manhunter is a 1986 crime thriller film directed by Michael Mann, based on the novel Red Dragon by Thomas Harris. It follows the story of FBI profiler Will Graham as he tracks down a serial killer known as the Tooth Fairy. Graham enlists the help of Hannibal Lecter, a former psychiatrist who is also a convicted killer. As Graham delves deeper into the mind of the killer, he begins to lose himself in the investigation. Manhunter received critical acclaim for its stylish direction and performances, particularly from Noonan and Cox. While the film was not a commercial success upon release, it has since gained a cult following and is considered a classic of the crime thriller genre. Number 7, Natural Born Killers. Natural Born Killers is a 1994 satirical crime film directed by Oliver Stone. The movie tells the story of Mickey and Mallory Knox, two young lovers who embark on a killing spree across the American Southwest, leaving a trail of dead bodies in their wake. The media becomes obsessed with their story, turning them into pop culture icons and pushing them further into a spiral of violence and notoriety. The film features a unique visual style, including psychedelic animation and black and white footage, as well as an all-star cast including Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, and Robert Downey, Jr. Despite its controversial subject matter, Natural Born Killers received critical acclaim and has since become a cult classic. Number 6, American Psycho. American Psycho is a 2000 psychological thriller film directed by Mary Harron and based on the novel of the same name by Bret Easton Ellis. The film follows Patrick Bateman, a wealthy and successful investment banker in New York City during the late 1980s. Despite his high societal standing, Bateman is also a violent and sadistic serial killer who preys on young women and homeless people. As his delusions and violent tendencies spiral out of control, Bateman begins to struggle with his own identity and sanity. The film received critical acclaim for its satire of the yuppie culture of the 1980s and Bale's performance as Bateman. Number 5, Zodiac. Zodiac is a 2007 thriller film directed by David Fincher and starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Mark Ruffalo, and Robert Downey, Jr. The film is based on the true story of the Zodiac Killer, a serial killer who operated in Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Gyllenhaal plays Robert Graysmith, a cartoonist who becomes obsessed with the case and begins his own investigation, while Ruffalo plays Detective Dave Toschi and Downey, Jr. plays journalist Paul Avery, both of whom are also investigating the case. The film received critical acclaim for its direction, screenplay, and performances, and was nominated for several awards, including a Best Supporting Actor nomination for Downey, Jr. at the Academy Awards. Number 4, Memories of Murder. Memories of Murder is a 2003 South Korean crime drama film directed by Bong Joon-ho, based on the true story of the first serial killer case in South Korea. The film takes place in 1986 in a small provincial town where a detective squad investigates a series of brutal murders of young women. Despite their best efforts, the detectives struggle to solve the case, and their investigation ultimately takes a toll on their mental and emotional well-being. The film has received critical acclaim for its intense atmosphere, realistic portrayal of the investigation process, and commentary on the socio-political climate of South Korea in the 1980s. Number 3. Psycho. Psycho is a 1960 American psychological horror film directed by Alfred Hitchcock. The movie follows Marion Crane, who steals money from her employer and goes on the run. She ends up at the Bates Motel, run by the seemingly friendly Norman Bates, but things quickly take a terrifying turn. The film is considered a classic of the horror genre, known for its suspenseful music, iconic shower scene, and twist ending. It has won several awards, including 4 Academy Award nominations, and is often cited as one of Hitchcock's greatest films. Number 2. Seven. Seven is a 1995 thriller film directed by David Fincher and stars Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, and Gwyneth Paltrow. The film follows the investigation of 2 detectives, a young and impulsive David Mills and an aging and experienced William Somerset, as they pursue a sadistic serial killer who uses the 7 deadly sins as a motif in his murders. The film was critically acclaimed for its dark and gripping atmosphere, as well as its strong performances and direction. It received numerous award nominations, including an Academy Award nomination for Best Film Editing, and has since become a cult classic in the thriller genre. Number 1. The Silence of the Lambs. The Silence of the Lambs is a 1991 psychological thriller directed by Jonathan Demme. The film follows FBI trainee Clarice Starling, played by Jodie Foster, as she seeks the help of imprisoned psychiatrist and cannibalistic serial killer Dr. Hannibal Lecter, portrayed by Anthony Hopkins, to catch another serial killer known as Buffalo Bill. As Clarice delves deeper into the case, she must navigate the dangerous mind games of both Lecter and Buffalo Bill in order to save the life of the killer's next victim. The Silence of the Lambs won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Adapted Screenplay, cementing its status as one of the greatest films of all time.